Hello everyone, Kaoz here, and welcome to another old school RuneScape video. Just like my last AFK video saying we can all agree that we love playing this game without actually playing it, the same can be said about making money. Especially if you're an unrestricted account, we are always looking for some extra cash so we can get our next upgrade. And even as an iron, you still need raw cash for things like construction, buckets of sand, or the Scar Mine. And because of this, our next upload is all about OSRS moneymakers anyone can do. Boys and girls, if this video is helpful, consider subscribing with notifications on, drop a fat like for the YouTube overlords, and you can check out our Discord server with the link in the description to ask anything money related and play with me and our amazing community. In today's video, I want to go over 10 moneymakers which are either brand new to the channel, meaning I've never featured them before, and even existing moneymakers that have improved or changed in any way so you can make either a little bit of cash or millions of GP if you're looking towards your next upgrade, or even upkeep your membership with Bond. As always, remember that I'm testing these at nearly max efficiency to give you a rough idea of the cap GP per hour you can make, and that results may vary depending on your levels, gear, and how focused you are. Stay tuned until the end of the video so you can tell us your favorite moneymaker for a chance to win our weekly bond, and with that being said, let's begin. We will go over these methods from least to most profitable, and the simplest, most AFK, and the probably less lucrative method of this particular list is something that was added with a third part of Valimor. We have AFK woodcutting methods in the game that, although not click intensive at all, still have you look at your screen every few minutes. But this new method is pretty much the shooting star equivalent of this skill. After completion of the final Dawn quest, you have access to the temple where the Doom of Mokayotl is located. If you have at least 80 woodcutting, bring your best axe and start chopping the infected roots after you cross a shortcut for which you need level 75 agility. Or you can get around it if you don't have the level. Based on the description I just gave you, both of the experience and the profit per hour are subpar. But if you're using Moonlight, get yourself the logout timer plugin and set the number in the settings menu to 25. This will let you AFK for up to 25 minutes, for which you will not need to do anything until your inventory fills up with logs. From experience, you will only need to do this anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes to drop the regular lots you get from chopping the infected roots, and it's definitely one of, if not the least demanding activity in the entire game. But like I said before, we are looking at around 10,000 experience per hour, and the demonic tiers you get during this time is like 40k GP. I never said these methods were top of the top moneymakers in the game, but if you're doing something else that requires full attention, chopping infected roots will be even more AFK than shooting stars, or even the newly released gemstone crop which has earned a spot in the hearts of the entirety of Gielinor. Like I said in my AFK upload, I said I was a little tired of including the plank make spell in my videos, and I'm starting to feel the same way about this next one, but I can promise you it's pretty much the last time we will see it for the foreseeable future. I've included wealthy citizens pickpocketing and stealing from houses in many videos like my thieving and AFK guides, but this is such a chill method I only use when working on videos that I never really noticed how much money I was making, and because of that, I went there one final time to test it out. As most of you know, experience per hour from pickpockets is amazing at just 50 to 60k experience per hour, but it only requires one click every minute to minute and a half. If you have the Rogue's outfit, however, money you get from this activity can reach upwards of 100 to 120,000 GP per hour. It doesn't sound like a lot, but like we've said many times, this is something you can get by paying little to no attention to the game, and got my hardcore cash stuck to a little over 3 mil at the time of making this video. You are also going to get house keys which you can use to enter citizen houses when they leave to go out for a stroll, and if you're able to click just a little more, anytime you hear a jingle to steal valuables from the marked furniture, and with all of the actions you'll be doing here, mostly AFK, XP per hour jumps to a whopping 90 to 100k. When your session is over, trading in the valuables with Oriana near the bank also gave me about 100 to 120,000k, which is literally the same as pickpocketing, but keep in mind that I do not have the 16,000 glory from the Coliseum required to increase this number. But you get almost double the experience, which makes this method absolutely cracked. I promise you won't see me talking about this one for at least a little while, but please do yourself a favor and give it a try if you're still missing some thieving levels for a quest or a diary requirement. We continue with some item processing because, let's be honest, nobody likes doing this and it could be a business opportunity if you're looking for some quick cash. First up is planting tree and the fruit tree seeds in plant pots, and then adding water to the pot for them to turn into saplings after about 5 minutes. Keep in mind that not only will this give you just a tiny bit of profit because of the price difference between the seeds and the actual saplings. For some reason, the buy limit for the seeds is just 200, and I honestly can't see why Jagex would add a limit for this. That can't stop you from buying multiple and processing them all in one sitting. Check out the farming level table on your skills tab and see which seeds you're able to plant, since you can only do this if you have the level required to actually work with the sapling. You can try boosting your farming level with something like a garden pie or even a spicy stew. And since you can process many items at once, the boost will be good for several of them. Use the seeds on the plant pots like I'm doing, and I recommend you cast the lunar spell Humidify. Otherwise, you will have to manually click a watering can on each of the pots, and eventually getting more from the bank or filling them up again. They will grow after a few minutes, and you can sell them back for a bit of profit. I was able to make a very modest 400k in just 13 minutes of work, but watch out for GE prices since margins can get pretty tight, especially on lower tier seeds. For magic and palm seeds, you will need a bigger cash stack, so I wouldn't really recommend working with either of these or a dragon fruit. We are abusing the hunter skill to gather and to process an item which has become pretty popular since its introduction. This time, we require level 75 hunter, since we will be going to the hunter guild basement to catch Moonlight Moths. Instead of impling jars, grab butterfly jars since the impling ones won't work for the moths. If buying them on the Grand Exchange, they have a super low buy limit, so you're better off hopping worlds to buy more at the Hunter shop. You can go to this corner of the Hunter Guild and mark the tiles where the moths are going to spawn. And if you're catching them as soon as they appear, you will only have to wait like one tick for you to catch the next one. I would recommend taking an additional teleport to the closest mech of your choice like a crafting guild, and going back to the Hunter Guild via either Quetzal Whistle or the Hunter Cape. Now, some of you might be thinking, wait, aren't Moonlight Moth jars like 1 KGP per item? And to that I say you are correct. But we are doing something else with them to increase their value by using a super cheap item, which was also introduced with the Hunter Guild. If you remember, butterflies have been in RuneScape since the introduction of the Hunter skill back in like 2006 or something. But a relatively recent update made it so butterflies in jars actually have an effect when using them. And the effect is further amplified when using specific types of raw meat on them. If you use an item like Kayat, Grahak, or Kebbit meat on the moth, this will give you 2 doses of prayer restoration potion instead of 1, healing 22 per use. As an unrestricted account, you want to stick to items like raw Kayat or Grahak, and as an iron you can go to the Piscator's Kebbit hunting area to catch any type of Kebbit for faster spawns. And then, get yourself budget prayer potions, which I will certainly be doing on my hardcore. By spending an hour both catching and processing Moonlight Moths, I got nearly 900,000 GP, since 1 moth jar and the raw Grahak meat came out to be about 1.2 KGP, while the finished item can reach like 2.6k at the time of making this video. This means that you can also buy the individual items and process them for a good chunk of cash without spam clicking mods in the basement of the Hunter Guild. We only have 2 bossing related moneymakers for now, and for the first one, I don't have a guide for you guys yet, but you let me know if you would like to see one in the near future. I mean, the encounter is pretty easy, so I don't really know how on demand it would be. But anyway, I thought about checking the Royal Titans and see how their drops manage. Like I said, this won't necessarily be a guide, but I will give you a very quick rundown of what I was doing. And no, you don't need to max the best in slot gear like I'm showing in the video, because my Iron clanmate was doing pretty good with standard gear. We go in and start attacking with range. One person takes care of the Ice King and the Ice Wall as well as the Ice Elementals, while the other takes care of everything fire related. When they hop on the arena, the only dangerous thing is a slam, for which you need to stand on top of the symbol that appears. When the kill is done, loot the giant of your choice according to what you want to get. Either the Fire Crown Piece and the Mystic Vigor Prayer Scroll from Branda, or the Ice Crown Piece and the Deadeye Prayer Scroll from Eldrick. You can either stay here or wait a few seconds, or teleport to your house or the Elidna statue in the desert, and then come back with a giant soul amulet. With efficient gear and kills, you can get anywhere between 20 and 30 KC per hour, and the profit is going to range from 300 to 800k in that period of time. I was lucky enough to snag the fire crown piece in front of my iron pal, and without the need to split, that was easy 4 mil GP made for the testing of this method. So, if you want the guide, let me know in a comment below. Another brand new training and money making method is killing Custodia creatures in the new Slayer dungeon, which you can access after completion of a quest called Shadows of Custodia. These are pretty neat because it's a single type of creature divided in 3 different tiers, and you can kill higher tiers the higher your Slayer level. For this experiment though, I went for the highest tier ones, the Elder Custodia Stalkers. These guys are weak to slash, so take your best weapons and armor, and a good mix between prayer potions and food. They have a special mechanic that makes it so when they fall below 20% HP, they will stomp on the ground, causing you to bleed for a total of 9 damage. You can block this with a Pray for Magic, but honestly I didn't really find this too annoying, and they can drop 3 sharks at once, giving you plenty of HP back. On a Slayer task you could see above 180 KC per hour with good gear, leading to above a 40k Slayer experience in that same time. For this I am strictly talking about a single combat area, because if you use a cannon, you will most likely break even with all of the cannonballs used. Without a task and without the Slayer helmet, I got to just over 140 kills. Normal drops are nothing out of the ordinary. You can make between 500 and 800k if you pick everything up except maybe for pure essence and fire runes. If you get a broken antler, you can turn it into atlatl dart tips. If you get an alchemist's signet, you can open the chest at the entrance of the Mastering Mixology minigame for some supplies. And if you're lucky enough to get the antler guard, the new offhand weapon, you can walk with around 3 million GP. So, if you get any of these for your Slayer Master, definitely give them a try. Okay, listen, if you've been watching my videos for a long time now, I can guarantee you have heard me talking about the Plank Make spell quite a lot. And guess what? For pretty much the first time in a money making video, I won't be talking about the spell itself, but we will go over how to make money by turning logs into planks. For a lot of you this might be obvious. Take a full inventory of logs and turn them into planks in the sawmill northeast of a rock, the woodcutting guild, or even Perfinis. The bad thing about these is that they are pretty far away from a bank, and grabbing a fresh inventory and coming back will severely cut into your profit. Well, I'm happy to tell you that we have a new sawmill in the game located in the new area of Vale, and the bank is only a few seconds away. Not only will this be useful for unrestricted accounts looking to gain some profit, but also for irons who want to get quick planks and happen to not have 86 magic for the Plank Make spell. Drink a dose of stamina potion and wear your graceful outfit if you have them, put on your cash stack in your inventory, and take a full set of logs to the sawmill northwest of the bank to turn them all into planks and repeat for as long as you want. I tried this with teak planks because the price of log versus plank is a little volatile right now, and you can make more money with these rather than mahogany planks, which used to be the go-to item when talking about the Plank Make spell. And thanks to the teak planks, I was able to make upwards of 1.1, or even 1.2 million GP per hour. And the cool part about this is that this has absolutely zero requirements other than Children of the Sun to access Vale. If you're desperate for some cash, this is something you can do at a very low effort for a decent profit. If you remember one of our previous videos going over the Vale Totems minigame at Vale Valley, this is a sleeper moneymaker I don't see a lot of people talking about. Not only is this the most engaging way to train the fletching skill nowadays, which I'm super happy and thankful for, but it's actually a very decent moneymaker if you have a high fletching level. If you haven't, go ahead and check out my dedicated guide for it to optimize both experience and the profit per hour. When I recorded clips for my guide, I did this for an entire hour with the redwood staves, and if you make a redwood totem, you will earn 105 or 120 offerings every time your totem disappears. With my method, I got a little over 16,000 offerings in that 1 hour, and I really thought that the rewards were going to be absolute trash because you're mostly doing this for the experience per hour, being able to recycle your items as an Ironman, and those are juicy uniques which will help you speed up the fletching skill. But when I saw how much money I got out of the 1 hour doing this, it kinda blew my mind. After checking all my offerings, I got 622k GP worth of bird nests, seeds, roots, and rings. 270k in a random assortment of arrow tips with the rusty arrows you find, and a total of 288k out of the atlatl dart shafts you get when fletching the end branches found in the offerings. This comes out to be about 1.2 mil GP per hour, and remember that I did this with redwood for the highest amount of offerings per hour. The lower the logs, the lower the profit, and if you want to train fletching, I heavily recommend skipping on magic logs because the cost will cut into your profits. Some of you guys have been watching these videos for years now, and I can guarantee you have never seen this next one in a single upload. For our next moneymaker, we are going to go to the Impling field we can access through Zonaris to catch some of these little devils for easy profit. I don't really know why I've never included these, but thanks to Jagex taking care of bot farms a little more diligently, a lot of moneymakers have gained quite a lot of value, and catching Implings is one of them. A select few of them will always be popular because of their ability to yield clue scrolls without having to hunt them down, and we will use this to our advantage to make a lot of money. Get yourself a butterfly net and as many Impling jars as you want, and with at least 50 hunter, we will focus mainly on eclectic Implings, which have a good chance to give you a medium clue scroll. If you're playing on Moonlight, activate the plugin called Implings, and go to the settings menu to tell you to highlight the eclectic Implings and above. When going to the field, you will notice a few spawns that say the word eclectic, and if you catch the right Impling, it will spawn just after a few seconds, and you can catch the Impling immediately after. If they start running away, you can bring binding spells like Entangle, and they will be caught in place for several seconds. Push through the field to get to them, bank, and then repeat the process. I told you to highlight eclectic Implings and above, because anything higher than this tier will also fetch for a pretty penny. And if you have the levels for them, we are looking for Nature, Magpie, Ninja, Dragon, and Lucky Implings. Although the chance of finding these last two will be extremely rare, and you won't be moving too much, meaning not a lot of chance to scout the area. I was able to catch a good amount of eclectic Implings and a few combined Nature, Magpie, and the Ninja Implings, and I was on track to get upwards of 1.2 to 1.5 million GP per hour. For a method that doesn't really require any intense reflexes, I would say that this is pretty good considering most skilling moneymakers cap out at about 2 mil GP per hour. But remember, this is something you can do at just level 50 Hunter, which is massive for the early and the mid-game accounts. Alright fellas, this last one will put some of you on the edge of your seat, and to some it will be pretty reclined as you see your bank grow and grow. And I'm of course talking about the Money Dragon, since you cannot call yourself an old school RuneScape YouTuber without including this bad boy in at least one of your money making videos. Now, why am I including Vorkath, and why do I get more viewers than usual on my streams whenever I go kill it? Well, it's because, in my experience, people will always want to learn how to slay this boss efficiently to make tons of money. People have asked me to do it with max melee gear, budget melee gear, Dragon Hunter crossbow, a regular dragon crossbow, show a blowpipe walk, the crossbow walk, you name it. And the reason I've been doing Vorkath recently is that if you look at the price of superior dragon bones, thanks to Jagex banning more and more bots including Vorkath ones, this item has gone from an astounding 7,000 GP apiece to a historical peak in recent months. Not counting when the boss first came out, and I remember Wooks selling a single set of superior dragon bones for 100,000 GP. We are not only after the bones. Vorkath features a ridiculous drop table including dragon items, which, I mean, just look at the price of unfinished dragon bolts, and some nice alchable items along noted resources people are always looking for. Vorkath is another boss I'm thinking of remaking my guide for, because like I said, it seems that there will always be an unusual amount of people interested in slaying the Money Dragon for a disgusting amount of profit per hour. To close out this moneymaker, and with max the best in slot melee gear, I can easily make anywhere between 4 and 5 million GP per hour. Granted, I don't get the dogshit drops like gem tips, grapes, or some of the cheaper fruit seeds which seem to be quite common. With low gear, you can easily reach 2 or 3 million GP per hour for your next upgrade. So moneymakers of all ages, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something useful. If you did, tell me what your favorite moneymaker is and maybe a small process of how you do it. And if you include the term RSN and your username in your comment, you'll be entered in our weekly bond giveaway, for which we will pick a winner on Friday's stream. I want to give a chunky thank you to all the people you see on this list for supporting the channel monetarily. All of your contributions go towards our supply of tacos and beans to survive in a third world country. If you want to be part of this list of legends, click the join button below to see all of the cool perks and benefits you can get for a monthly fee in the videos, in the live streams, and of course in the Discord. In the next one, we will actually go over the 2025 bossing ladder, since I had to delay it because of an upcoming trip. I hope you're looking forward to it, but for now, I hope you have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I will see you then. Peace.